I hope it didn't catch me saying pop that back.
Pop that back.
Sounded real sexual.
Yeah, but the best part is it's us talking about being old and me going, I need to get my back realigned at the chiropractor. I just really want them to pop my back.
Pop it.
Because my lower back hurts. I slept with a pillow under my lumbar last night.
Oh, that sounds...
Our guest star today.
Will's playing Bop It. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
That was funny.
Dying.
We're both also having a lot of coffee. That might be my favorite intro to a show. Because it's chaotic.
We caught that. I'm sorry you lost, baby.
Aww.
He lost his imaginary Bop It. It was
Oh.
very sad.
Bam, 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 bam.
True to myself. I don't think I've ever gotten past like 10 things on Bop It.
I'm
You
not
won't
good at it
ever,
either.
Probably.
It also
Okay.
just didn't keep my attention.
So I'm reading. I know I've already told you about this, but I'm reading again because whenever you're depressed, you're supposed to have hobbies and enjoy yourself. And I used to like reading as a child, so I'm.
That's
reading
why I
again
do Dungeons
now.
and Dragons and make really epic things.
Dude, reading has been great, except I read Howl's Moving Castle expecting it to be the best book ever because I love the movie so much, and it's garbage and I hate it and I hate everything. And I'm really, really salty, angry about it because that was like my first book back from reading. And I was like, you know what? This is it. I can't not love this. It's like one of my favorite movies and I hate it. I hate it.
That always
I'm, like,
sucks.
Incredibly upset. So I'm rereading a book that I know that I love.
There you go. There you go. Fix it with something that's a good.
I
reread.
can't do it.
I haven't
But
been able to read.
Well, you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I just fall asleep when I started. I've like charged my Kindle twice and then let it die and then charged it twice and I still haven't read a book on it. I was like, oh my gosh. This week. I mean, I've read a book on my Kindle, but
I've been reading lots of manga. So I was like, I'm going to take a book break and then I'll go back to manga and then I'll go back to books. And I think that constant back and forward will be really
Helps.
good for me.
I haven't even read a lot of manga. One, My Hero is not releasing new chapters like it ever. And then two, I just haven't had time and I still need to read Jujutsu Kaisen. Michael keeps texting me, where are you at on it? And I was like, I'm still at 0.2. Like,
Just take a break
prequels.
and read Komi Can't Communicate and you'll never want to stop reading it. And it's so cute. And I have all of them so you can borrow them from me. Huzzah.
You. The next time we play D&D, I have a little gift for you. Look, I have little gifts for everyone.
Oh, why do you have little gifts? Why do you always have gifts? Why are you always sending me stickers?
Guess
You
what they
woman.
are?
Are they stickers?
They're stickers.
I
But they're D&D themed stickers.
have a whole drawer full of stickers.
You're welcome. Now imagine
Thank
me
you.
though. Imagine how many I
I
have.
can't. I don't know how you store your stickers.
They're everywhere. That's why I own so many water bottles
Dear Lord.
and my computer.
Dear
And
Lord.
I mean, I've got like
Oh, hi, Hootie.
this little
wanna
packet. Look at this. Look at all these stickers in here. They're organized, but it's really thick.
Oh, Jesus.
Hootie patootie.
Oh, he's just chilling down here. He may not stick his head up today. We'll see.
Ugh. Did
Well,
you
there
see
we
that
go. There we
video
go.
I tagged you in? I saw it here.
Yes.
No, the singing one. I was like, that was Hootie.
Yes.
Lauren called me the other night, and both dogs just wanted to go on a walk so bad. They were just singing.
It's my fault because
There's a face.
I called you when I got home knowing I had to take them out, but I was also just so angry that I needed to get it out. Men are
It was
garbage.
so funny.
And I work at the most stressful grocery store in
Oh.
America.
Apparently, and I think it's just your store particularly.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't either. Lauren, poor Lauren. Like, bad customers follow Lauren.
They just, they hope I'm homeless one day. And I say, okay.
And they want
Thanks.
you to close this register now.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? I probably will be. Thanks.
Will's in the background panicking, like, what?
It's not even paying attention.
It's like that TikTok, I'm gonna lose my job.
Hootie is paying attention and he is very concerned. He's like, what?
Hootie's
Our
like,
home?
I can't be a outside dog. I'm an AC
No,
dog.
he can't. He would die.
I
in
did
like
just
2
order you
days.
another sticker online. I did, now that you mentioned Hootie, because it reminded me of Hootie.
I loved that nasty boy thing. I sent it to Will right after because it's Steve.
It's
hilarious.
from that artist. they did a chihuahua drawing and it looks like Hootie and it just says nervous. So I bought the sticker of it to give to you.
Yeah, Hootie's a big mama's boy now, and Steve has become a daddy's boy. Freaking Steve. Will went to go see his mother for Mother's Day, so it was just me and the boys. And Steve laid by the door and just stared at it until we went to bed, and he would not come hither. And it was very sweet, but also super annoying. I was like, I rescued you. You're choosing him.
You were mine first, and I need you to remember that loyalty.
I was your first parent, and I need you to show me some respect. Thanks. Oh no, sound like my parents.
Oh no. It's always the worst when you say something and you hear your mom and your voice and you're like,
and you're just like, dear Lord. Oh, I saw Doctor Strange last night.
oh, yay, finally.
Don't think I liked it.
Oh no.
I didn't okay, so I did not like it. I thought it was really fun and the effects were fun.
Yeah, there's no good plot in it, but it's fun. Once you let go of a plot line, you have a great time. But it's a Sam Raimi
it's just
movie.
really
I'm not
hard
here for a plot line.
It's really hard to let go of a plot line whenever Marvel is all about plot lines. You know what I mean?
But I just loved, okay, spoiler warning, go forward. If you haven't watched Doctor Strange, skip ahead like 10 minutes. But I love old Sam Raimi movies like Evil Dead, where the plot is, I read a book, the dead are coming to life, and now I gotta kill them. And that's the entire plot of that hour and a half movie.
Which was really
And that's
funny.
also the plot of Doctor Strange, which is what I loved.
Which I know was super intentional and really funny. But the acting wasn't great, except for Elizabeth Olsen. She was amazing. And all of Scarlet Witch's stuff was terrifying and excellent. So as soon as anything happened to her, I was like, hell yeah, I'm in it. But
when
she wasn't
crawled out of that gong ring style.
God.
I was like,
when she came out of the mist to kill Xavier.
Oh yeah,
terrifying.
And did you see on TikTok? I haven't sent any Doctor Strange to you because I didn't know if you had seen it. She doesn't just snap his neck; it comes off. Somebody recorded it and did it in slow-mo. That head rolls off, honey. That head but they quickly pan away because they don't want that rated R. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think I would take children to go see this. I might be a little
oh my gosh, the internet is so mad that they cannot go as a family to watch this. But I'm like,
it's a little violent, man. It was way more violent than I thought it would be. Some of those Doctor
Strange comics, they're not all kid friendly. I'm glad they're getting to kind of trample in that world.
My favorite thing was the cape of evil spirits, definitely on Corpse Strange. That was super dope. Also, ooh. I don't know. The end credit scene was annoying because it was just introducing another new character, and I'm like, oh.
And it's Charlize Theron, and I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
When she joined the MCU. But now he just has Doctor Strange's main love interest that he marries.
Yeah. And now he's just got this third eye.
I thought it was good, man.
Will liked it.
I liked it.
I don't know how I feel about it. I liked it.
I loved
that's what Bridget said too. He likes the Sam Raimi-isms. Yeah. I thought it was
the
fun.
close
I
up
just don't
zoom
think I
in,
liked-
like where the camera does this. It's like straight up Evil Dead. And Bruce Campbell beats himself up a whole movie, which is
I didn't realize
straight
it was
up Evil
Bruce
Dead.
Campbell until the second after credit scene, and then I was
Oh.
like, "What?" Like I was
Fun.
so angry.
I was like, wait, and we went the first screening, and so our theater cheered when Bruce Campbell first showed up, and my mom was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Remember what I told you in Sam Raimi movies? He always casts his friend Bruce. That's him." And then when he started, what was his name? Like Pizza Papa or something. It was
something
really
like
funny.
that.
And so at the end, when he's beating himself up, I was like, that's straight up Evil Dead, because his hand is evil and his hand is trying to kill him the whole movie. And that's why he chops his hand off. Spoilers for Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2.
What? I'm kidding.
What? I know. But
Not like it's been out for a million years.
like 40 years.
Holy crap, 40
God,
years.
I know. It's 20.
Oh.
It's like 80s, right? So it's almost
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
The 60s were supposed to be 40 years ago. But I loved Danny Elfman's music, and I love that he
always.
incorporated other themes, like when Professor X came out, and then you heard the 97. The entire theater like lost it. My theater was pretty rowdy, like not rowdy in a bad way, like a really fun hype crowd when everybody felt the same. We all kind of cheered. When John Krasinski showed up as Reed
Mr.
Richards,
Fantastic. I was like,
freaking lost it. I was like, my mom looked at me and I was like, that's been the fan casting for years. And then like 10 minutes later, all of us were like, no.
Yeah. Then he turned into noodles and I was devastated. I was like,
someone showed a picture on TikTok of blue spaghetti noodles and they're like,
but can we just say Wanda being like, good, there'll be someone to take care of your children? Like, I was like,
so brutal. But
so good. She's such a good villain.
The controversial decision to bring back what's his name is Black Bolt from that horrible Hulu series.
And Black Bolt's death was the most wicked part.
Wet mouth. And I was like, oh.
That's what Bridget just said. Isn't that crazy?
I was like,
yeah, well, it's okay. He only had to say one word.
Wet mouth.
That face he made when he made that little half smirk, I was like, oh my god.
Oh, I liked him. He was the best actor in Inhumans, which was
that was really bad. That was
saying something.
Movie for me.
Oh.
Bridget said that he was the best actor in that show.
I've heard it was a horrible show.
It was
a horrible show. I don't even think I finished it because I was like, this hurts.
That's a lot for you.
And
you finish everything.
It was bad CGI too. And this CGI dog is like the main character. And I'm like, Oh, it was bad.
I think overall, Doctor Strange is not my favorite Marvel character. So it's always like a
Cumberbatch.
I like him.
I love how cocky he is.
I didn't really care for the first Doctor Strange. Second, I did like Spider-Man, so I was more hopeful for this. But I don't know.
I was kind of hoping some of the spiders would show up in this, but then I forgot they don't know who Spider-Man is. I
don't know. I'm kind of over the multiverse. There's a lot of it going on right now.
There's about to be so much more.
And there's about to be 10,000 more things of it. So I'm
really
just kind of
into
over it.
I really want more Wong.
Like DC's about to do multiverse.
Okay, Wong being protect your minds.
Yes, I laughed out.
Will laughed so hard. He was the only person in the theater that laughed.
Ours all laughed.
So loud.
Oh, y'all should have been at our crowd. Ours laughed, and I love Wong.
Because I did laugh a little bit because of the way he said it.
It was because of the way he said it. I laughed because his face shook when he said it. It was like it was really funny.
Wong is like
so over the top, like way more over the top than when he speaks normally. And all of a sudden he's like, like it was funny.
Wong is one of my favorite characters because I think he's so funny, but he's also so powerful. I love him as Supreme.
Come here, babe. Do you want to come be part of this conversation real quick?
Okay.
He thought about it for like 2 seconds. Welcome to our special guest star, William
My
Weaver.
husband, Will.
Welcome, Will, to the podcast.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize we were on the podcast.
Yeah, we're recording. Well, you were already having this conversation, so
Okay.
So
got
you're
like
on
a little
now.
warning.
we did.
Okay. Cool.
Don't
We
worry.
did.
All right.
We told him to skip ahead for spoilers.
Okay.
But I
You-
love Wong. I think
Yeah.
he is what I loved him in Shang-Chi making an appearance, and then I just love like he's like a comedic relief. Like when he has the like cloak of evil spirits, and he's like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
I didn't think I liked him until he fell off a cliff, and then I was like, no. Wow.
It took him almost dying for you to
I wanted him
realize
to die. Like I was like,
Oh.
okay, cool, good for you. He's gonna die, and then sure enough, he wasn't dead. Very
No,
disappointed.
no stakes in Sam Raimi movies.
Ah, man, I love a Sam Raimi movie, but I loved like Sam Raimi. Like I was telling Lauren, like, you know, Spider-Man was different for him, but original Sam Raimi, there's not much of a plot line. It is just like violence and fun, and
Yeah.
that's why I love this one. And everybody keeps calling this Evil Dead 4, and I was like, I'm not mad about it.
No, me either. Did you catch it? His hand made the exact same noise that Ash's hand makes in Evil Dead 2 when it got possessed. It's like
No.
pulled from the movie. Yeah.
Oh,
I just watched it at Alamo like 3 weeks ago.
I need
And so
to
it was very fresh.
rewatch Evil Dead 2, and then I need to rewatch. I always like rewatching big blockbuster movies because the first time you're just kind of engulfed in it, and the second time you get to like break it down.
Yeah.
But I love watching Doctor Strange in 3D because the first one, when it came out, it was the coolest movie.
Oh, that was really cool, actually.
When he went in
yeah.
that mirror dimension, it was
Yeah. that was dope.
bonkers. So I want to see how this one is because I mean they do have some cool stuff.
I am the target audience for 2D glasses. Thank you, Hank Green. I absolutely hate 3D movies. So I'll be wearing 2D glasses while y'all watch it.
How many 3D showtimes are there even anymore?
I
Not a
don't
lot.
even know.
Draft
Right?
House barely has 3D like filters anymore.
Well,
I imagine,
the screens are expensive and it's not worth it. We don't make enough money on 3D. Like it's twice as expensive as a normal screen, and it doesn't look as good with 2D content. So it's like you're basically committing it to being
Yeah.
a 3D screen.
Yeah.
Isn't AMC moving to laser projection by like 2025 too? And
Yeah,
so,
I think that's what I
they-
read.
yeah, if they refit everything, they're not going to do 3D moving forward.
AMC
right?
had a
it's
really
dying
cool
now.
popcorn bucket for Doctor Strange though, and I really like the closest AMC is like Barton Creek Mall to me, and I was like, I don't want to go to Barton Creek
But is
Mall.
it as cool as the Levi bucket?
No, it's not. But this is like see-through, like looking holographic, like it looks like the box from Spider-Man, and I was like, do I want to buy a $20 popcorn bucket?
No, you
When
don't.
Warren brings those home, like we have a Batman one right now.
It
and
was given to me.
I immediately start a countdown in my head of like, when can I throw this away for her not to realize that?
It was given to me by AJ because he felt bad because we went to go watch
And you
Batman
seem
and the
super
keys didn't
stoked,
unlock.
so I put like a 2-month
It was a
counter
gift
in
and
my
I was
head.
being
2 month
kind.
counter. I have
gotta
a Wonder
forget
Woman
that.
84 one that I use to water plants.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
gonna-
Unless
it holds
Pedro
enough
Pascal's
water.
face is on that as
It
like
is
the
not.
character,
It
then
is
it's
the
not worth it.
horrible gold suit
that
that
she wears for 2 minutes.
He made
and
that
then
movie,
strips
man.
off.
He was so good in that.
Pedro Pascal makes like anything that he's in. I really want to watch Unbearable Weight, and I haven't
He
gotten to
was-
see it yet.
dude,
but I've
he was
heard
really
it's
good in
just
it.
So fun.
It was awesome.
He was
It-
great.
It made me like Nicolas Cage.
That's mind blowing.
That's all
for
I
me.
can say about
That's what got you.
I've been firmly against Nick Cage my entire life. This did it. Everyone go see this movie. I can't express. I'll
It's
watch it again.
only a month late in promotions now, but yeah.
Who cares? Who cares? Go watch it. It's better than
Uh,
Doctor Strange.
Y'all got to start doing your lie in April, man. You're not gonna make it in time.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
gotta go to
Okay,
work.
That's true. I also have work.
Bye.
Bye, Will. Thanks for
Right.
guest starring.
Thanks everyone for being patient.
I could talk about Doctor Strange for like hours just because I love Sam Raimi.
I know.
Oh, Peggy sit next to me. All right, Your Lie in April. Here we go. First 4 episodes. Lauren, you want to kick us off for
I
monotone
do.
slash
Sorry, I
cult?
had to burp a little bit.
Oh,
Here's your Funimation summary. Kelsey's life has been dull and gray. His friend Tsubaki and Watari and Watari. Sorry, I practiced these last night and have not said them since.
Watari.
Watari try their
figure
best
out what they were saying
to cheer him up, but there is no more color in his life. His eyes don't sparkle. However, there is this girl who might just be able to change all of that. There you
All
go.
right. Here we go. So, cherry blossoms are falling, and a blonde girl is chasing a cat down the street.
The streak.
Oy. Street in the park. That's why there's cherry blossoms in my background. They're very prominent in this movie, which is like one of my favorite flowers / plants. So / trees.
Well, lucky you.
Lucky me.
This entire show
seems to be the number one metaphor in this show.
Yeah.
She meows at the cat, and then the opening credits roll. I said, oh, the show has a byline title that made more sense for me. I met the girl under the full bloom cherry blossoms, and my fate began to change. Your Lie in April. Your Lie in April, I never really understood what that meant as a title until the 4th episode, and I was like, I get it.
I have another tie-in for that due to classical music, and I can't wait to tell you about it.
Fun facts.
Yes.
So they're in the opening credits. It looks like a group of friends. There's a blonde girl. I'm gonna say their names because at one point I had their names all wrong because they like call each other nicknames, which was
her name is Kaori.
Yeah, Kaori Mizuno. The blonde, that's the blonde girl. The blonde-ish boy was Ryota, but they call him his last name Watari the whole time. And then brunette girl Tsubaki, and her and Ryota Watari are siblings.
Yes.
And then black-haired boy with glasses, Kusei.
I love Kusei.
He's a sweetheart. This is very music heavy, if you didn't know. So Lauren's about to just
absolutely beautifully animated. Oh my god.
It is really pretty animated. It is
it pains
a
me.
drama anime, faux show. So there's pianos, violins, auditorium chairs, but then in the opening credits, I was like, there's naked kids dancing in front of sheet music.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
Weird because I
don't know why they do that.
Show.
I think it's because it's like innocence because they take away like all their anatomy and they're like,
but it's still weird.
It's still weird.
It's a little bit jarring for such a pretty thing, and then you're like, oh,
I always
they're
think
close because it's like skin colored. Like if you're gonna take away their like anatomy, like do like Sailor Moon style where she's kind of holographic.
No, like the first time I watched it was very jarring. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is pretty. Naked children?
Naked children just running through the nothing.
I said I like there's a heavy amount of cat imagery in this, very into that. And then we start the show. That was the opening credit. Opening credits, both opening and closing are very like light pieces there. Everything's piano heavy, which makes sense. So this kid what?
Watari and what's her face? They're not siblings.
Oh, I thought they were siblings.
They are not.
Okay, never mind. Somebody in the show is a sibling.
Tsubaki. Yeah, no, they're not siblings. They just look very similar.
It's just
sorry, that hit me like way after the fact, I guess.
It's like 3 minutes after I said the wrong statement. Laura's like,
so sorry.
Correction corner.
It's the morning.
Reject.
All right. Continue.
I said this kid, which we found out is Kusei, is really into playing this difficult classical piece, but then we realize it's just a daydream. He's not actually playing it. He's kind of like imagining he's playing it. It's Piano Sonata number 14, Moonlight, third movement by Ludwig van Beethoven. He puts in his headphones and then after he's like done imagining, he puts in his headphones, and I laugh because you can faintly hear the music and it's the opening credit song. And then he's like writing some music he's transcribing. The brunette girl, which is Tsubaki, is playing baseball. She gets a home run. The ball goes through the window and poor Kusei hits Kusei in the head while he's playing the piano and just like straight up knocks him out.
Poor child. Which
is really funny because they draw him dramatically bleeding all the time.
Well, he is always dramatically bleeding. That is
inside
something about
out.
him.
So I wrote, they were in middle school because I'm still jarred from naked children. And I was like, they're like 6th graders. So blonde boy Watson.
No, they're like 8th graders. They're 14. So
okay. 14. That would have been 9th grade.
in Japan, 14 is your last year in middle school, and then they start high school at 15.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Like in My Hero, they're all 15.
Oh, 15. Those poor children. Oh my gosh. Can you hear my phone?
Yeah, it sounds like your computer's farting.
Those are all my calendar updates for recording Naruto at 12. I really didn't want to forget, apparently.
Like, well, we're not going to make it.
It's synced to every calendar I own. So the blonde boy, which is Watsari, wants Kusei and the brunette girl, Tsubaki, to get together, which is not going to happen. Tsubaki explains that why later.
You don't know that.
He says that. He's like, why don't you and Tsubaki get together?
But you don't know that.
What? We don't know that they won't get together?
You don't know nothing.
No.
You don't
But
know
I'm saying,
nothing
like, in a
about
later
this show.
episode, Tsubaki addresses that comment of them wanting to be together, and she's like, let me tell you about him. So Watsuri, this is me trying to figure out who is who. Watsuri is a blonde boy, he's a soccer player, brunette girl, Tsubaki. This is me, because they were like saying names so fast that I was having to Google blonde boy, July and April, so I can spell it correctly. So apparently Watsuri is a serial dater, but he's a good guy at heart, according to Kusei. You know, when you're in middle school, that makes sense. You have crushes left and right. You're just now discovering what it means to have a crush. And why not?
He's too handsome, and it's a problem for him.
Which I hate, because my first boyfriend was a soccer player and had that same haircut and looks like that. And I was like, this is uncomfortable for me.
He looks exactly like Oikawa from Haiku to me, and I love Oikawa. So every time I see him, I'm just like, his spawn. I love it.
His spawn.
Love it.
I had a dream about Haiku. It's a weird dream.
Tell me later. We don't have time today.
No, we don't have time.
Really
we took up our free talking time. So Watsuri tells Kusei this line that sticks like through the rest of these episodes we've watched so far is, when you're in love, the world looks more colorful. And you know, it's a really pretty line. And it's like the world sparkles more. Kusei goes home and says, hey, mom, but it looks like he was just talking to a photo of his mom. We'll go into that later. That's all we see right now. Tsubaki.
Oh, you see that full altar. So you know she's
I didn't
dead
realize it was an
immediately.
altar. I just saw it was a photo.
It's an altar.
Oh, well, that's depressing. So Tsubaki is in love with Kusei. Oh, yeah, we talked kind of, I guess I forgot about this. I watched 2 episodes one day and 2 episodes another day, so I guess my brain is like
How could you stop? I wanted to keep going.
I wasn't that into the show until the end of the 4th episode.
4th episode's one of the best episodes in anime to me. I love it.
It was really good. But yeah, until the 4th episode, I was not very hooked on this.
You bummed me out, man. Why do you hate everything I like?
I know, I'm sorry. So
do you like anime?
I will say this is one of the prettiest animes. I really love the artwork, but the storyline just wasn't hooking me. But Tsubaki is in love with Kusei. She sees color when she sees him, but Kusei only sees in monotone. When he was a kid, you know, he like started sobbing on his piano recital, and he says, in that moment, I knew my days of playing were done. We'll break down that moment multiple times over a few episodes. It gets more depressing every time. I realized that my shirt's really depressing because you can't see the bottom of it. And it just says, I would die for Kermit.
Okay, yeah, that is very depressing.
I realized as I'm talking about this show, I was like, you can only see I would die for Kermit. It's a love shirt.
Okay.
But you can only see I would die. I glanced over at the camera and was like, oh, while I'm talking about this, like, this
little on the nose, I guess.
That was bad. So Tsubaki has hit Kusei in the head with the baseball, and to get his attention, and I was like, ow, have you been hit in the head with it's like concrete in there. Ow. Kusei's mom ran a music school, and it was her dream for him to play piano. He practiced and played day after day, And then in these flashbacks, we see that his mom's like in a wheelchair. She has a blanket, a cane, and on oxygen, like an oxygen tube and tank. So you kind of think maybe it's cancer or something along those lines. But his mom would yell at him and hit him. Even when he cried, she didn't let up. And she said because she didn't make it big in Europe, so he has to go in her place. So it's a lot of like generational trauma, which is fun. What did we watch recently that had generational trauma?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
It is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That has generational trauma. Oh man.
Yep.
So he does his best because he hopes that if he plays better, it'll make her well again, which is so sad because that's such a child-like thought of she wants me to do this. If I do this, maybe she'll get better. Because their brains don't work like adults. And it's heartbreaking. And even when he cried, I skipped that part. So when he was on the cusp of making that happen, his mother died. And so now he just hates the piano. And then there's this line of like, but if you take away the piano, he has nothing, just the echo of a misplayed key. And I was like, ugh. This show really likes to give you little bits like that just
it's beautiful,
break your heart, but is so well written.
And very well translated.
Yeah, I was gonna say this dub is actually really good because
it's one of my favorite dubs. You have like one of my favorite dub casts.
I'm excited. The voices
really
are great, but I mean, like normally little bits like that, it's really great in the sub, but when they translate it over, you get some weird, like broken, funny line that doesn't.
No, they did
sense.
A really good job with their translation.
Like it's just as impactful in the dub, which normally is not the case. So Kusei finds 2 yellow heels in a tree when he's walking, and some leggings. And then he all of a sudden hears a melodica and someone playing it pretty well. So he follows he picks up the shoes and the tights hanging from this tree, and he follows like the sound of the melodica. And he sees the blonde girl on top of this little art dome, maybe like kid playscape thing, and playing the melodica. And all of a sudden the world begins to sparkle a little bit for Kusei. I wrote in parentheses, I don't think the melodica sounds as romantic as they're making it out to be.
It's not supposed to.
Okay, good.
It's supposed to be childish.
Like, the melodica is just not my jam unless you're like goofing off.
Well, they're also playing a song from Castle in the Sky, the Ghibli movie. So
really?
it's supposed to sound childish and kind of dreamlike,
Okay.
and that's why all the kids are so excited about it. And they're calling the birds because that's how they get them in the movie.
Lauren, that's my next bullet point.
Okay, well, I'm very sorry. Please excuse me.
So the blonde girl is crying while playing and then turns to look at Kusei. She starts coughing, and the little kids are saying the pigeons didn't come because they're trying to call the birds. If they play as one, they think that maybe they can attract them. The kids have a recorder, another little melodica, and then I guess I didn't Google this. Those little clicky clacky clamshell things that I can't remember the name, and I meant to Google it.
They're like they start with the C. Castanets.
Castanets. Thank you.
There you go.
Clicky clacky clamshells.
There you go.
I meant to Google that, and I guess I just went to bed. So a big breeze comes and sweeps the red hat off the little kid. And of course, the girl's skirt flew up right when Kusei takes a photo because he's like wanting to capture this moment. And so it takes a really big twist, and she's like, she thinks he's a pervert and just starts like beating him with the melodica and the recorder. And the kid's like, that was my recorder. It's a funny moment. But apparently this blonde girl knows Tsubaki, and Tsubaki introduces Kusei as friend Abe. And then we learned that the blonde girl who's playing the melodica and stuff, her name is Kaori Miyazono, and she plays the violin. So then the credits start rolling, and it's just really pretty shots of Kaori with a really chill ballad that's really soothing. And there are no after credit scenes in this show. At first I thought Funimation was just ripping me off, but nope.
No after credits.
That is the beginning of Your Lie in April.
Well, my
Your turn.
My bad. So let me get into these voice actors. There's really only like a handful of people in this that actually have names.
Yeah.
But these first four, it's a star-studded little cast. Let me tell you about it. So our very first guy is one of my favorite guys of all the guys. Kase Arima. Oh my gosh, it just hold on. It's a work text.
All right, we're back.
Okay. All right. So Kase Amara Arima. My gosh, I cannot say Arima. I don't know why. I couldn't say it last night. It's not a hard
Arima.
name. It's just there. But his English voice actor is Max Middleman.
You got some chaos at your house today.
And I love him so much. He plays like all of my best boys. But this one I put in for you. He plays Desmond in The Legend of Ex Machina. There you go. Don't know who that is, but he plays that guy.
Desmond in The Legend of Vox Machina?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay. I was like,
ha ha ha.
Desmond is
that movie with the robot lady.
It was like, hold on. Desmond, I can't think of I know the character because I've listened to it. No.
He also plays Sabito in Demon Slayer. Ryuji Sakamoto in Persona 5.
Who's Sabito?
He's the guy who helps Tanjiro cut the boulder in half.
Oh.
But he also plays my best boy, Ryuji. Love him so much. He plays Saitama in One Punch Man, who is the One Punch Man. He is the main character.
He is the One Punch Man.
He plays Atsushi Nijajima. Oh my gosh. And Bungo Stray Dogs, also the main character. He plays Ritsu Kageyama in Mob Psycho 100. Excellent. Konohamaru Sarutobi in Boruto. So he plays older Konohamaru, who we actually just met in the episode Naruto.
Yeah, my name is Kono. I can read it, but I can't remember it.
And he plays Nota in Toradora, who's just this big, pervy dorkhead, and I love him very much. So yeah, that's Max Middleman. I love him like so much. His Japanese
Desmond for you D&D nerds in Legend of Vox Machina. Sorry, I knew it, but I
haven't even been paying attention to my exciting voice actors. You've just been looking at Desmond.
My name is Kanemaru, the little one, but he plays the older one. Desmond is the Briarwoods, what's it called? Like chariot driver. He's the one that Percy basically just shoots his hand off, and we see No Mercy Percy for the first time. Okay, anyway, go ahead. My name is Kanemaru. I can't say that kid's name.
Konohamaru.
I practiced it last night and I wrote it phonetically in my notes because it's like so important that you know his name because that's like the whole show. And I was like,
well, Japanese voice actor is Natsuki Hane. He plays, and I knew this. I was very proud of myself because I was listening to him because I haven't watched this in sub yet. So I was like, oh, I know this voice. I love this voice. This is a good person. And it's Tanjiro in Demon Slayer. So perfect. He also plays Falco Grease in Attack on Titan. Yeah. And Takumi in Food Wars, who is one of my favorite characters in Food Wars. Also Jacko in Dragon Ball Z. Kin Kandaiki in Tokyo Ghoul, who's the main character. And Corey Hoshiyumi and Haiku, who is a beautiful little bird boy, and I love him. And then we have Kaori. Her English voice actor is Erica Lindbeck. She plays Makoto in Bubble, which is new. She plays Shion in Tales of Arise, which I hate because Will played that game, and she's the most annoying character in that game, and it drives me crazy. I know her well because she is Futaba Sakura in Persona 5, and she also plays Hiros Albertit in Promare. She didn't have like a lot, but everything she had like 1,000 credits for that thing, so she's got good work. Her Japanese voice actor is Ritsa Taneda. Ugh.
Wow, you said that
Plays-
super Texan.
I know.
Tornado.
Tornado.
Sound like there's a tornado coming. Get your clothes on.
She only had like 2 credits that I knew, but they were big credits, so I wrote them down. And that she's Ariana Nakari in Food Wars, who's like the main antagonist, and then she plays Diva in Overwatch. So cool. And then we have Tsubaki.
So
Her
cool.
English voice actor is Erica Mendez, who has been everyone. She plays Sailor Uranus in Sailor Moon.
that poor sailor. We just like ruined that word.
She plays Ryuko Matsui in Kill la Kill, who is the main character. She plays Gon Freesis in Hunter x Hunter, who is also the main character of Hunter x Hunter. She plays Melissa Shield in My Hero Academia.
Melissa Shield.
Melissa Shield, the daughter of David Shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why it sounded familiar.
Like, how dare you?
I'm really
Love
bad at
Melissa.
names. If you haven't picked up on that yet.
The only woman that Izuku has any chemistry with in that entire show is Melissa Shield. Sorry, Ochako, that is true.
She's got the personality of a
then maybe
brick
maybe
wall.
you'll have chemistry with the love of your life. She plays Retsuko in Agretsuko
Agretsuko.
Agretsuko. She plays Emma in The Promised Neverland, Mako in Makio in Demon Slayer. She's one of Tengen's wives. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Take it.
And she also plays Hayo. Oh my god, I am not good with names today. I am so sorry. She plays the main character in Shaman King. That I'm just gonna say that. I can't say names right now. My brain it's early.
She's one of the great wives, just so you know, of Tengen's. Like, I mean,
dude.
they're all great, but Makio's
She's like the best one.
one of them.
All right,
I don't know.
so
They all
there's-
take their turns. It's great.
And then the Japanese voice actor is Ayan Sakura. She plays Ochako Uraraka in My Hero
Sorry, we
Academia.
just bashed your character.
Gabby Braun.
Oh, jeez.
Alice Higag.
Gabby.
Alice Higagari in Persona 5 Strikers, and that's it. I
Yeah,
don't know
to
why
play
I said that.
Ochako and Gabi, like, a double whammy, man. I mean, Gabi
Right,
grows on you,
no.
but Ochako does not.
No, I really want her to. But she
Midoriya has
doesn't.
more chemistry with Sue than he does.
He has
Like,
more
and it's
chemistry
good
with
chemistry with
every
Sue.
person in that show. He has more chemistry with Ida, with
That's also
Todoroki,
really true. Yeah, they have
with
like emotional
Hiroshima,
bonds.
with anyone other than Ochako. She's just there.
Even
It
with
sucks.
Great Boy.
Great Boy?
I can't think of his name ever. Starts with an M.
Oh, Great Boy. I thought you said
Great-
Great Boy.
Not Great Boy. No,
Mineta.
I would
Well,
Mineta.
Mineta is in love with Izuku.
That's true.
we
That was
discovered
such
that
a
in manga. I was like,
crazy
oh.
reveal, and it was like, what?
I
I
kind of
mean,
like it.
you're
though.
trying to make me like him, and that
I love
worked a little
Mineta.
bit, but I hate Mineta.
I love Mineta. So, is he useless and horrible? Yeah. Do
Absolutely.
I care? No. All right. Where am I? Have I? Oh yeah, I did that one. Sorry, my bad. And then I've got Watsuri. His
Watsuri.
English voice actor is Kyle McCarley. He plays Yashiro in Demon Slayer. I don't know who that is. I did when I saw. Oh, he plays the smell ladies, the smell demons' little assistant boy. That's who Yashiro is.
Smell demon.
Yeah, who's like the flower healer lady in the first season.
Demon Slayer. The flower lady. Maybe it's been a minute since I've seen. Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
I love him.
He's a good boy. We like
He's
him.
a great boy.
He plays Jimmy Huckabee in Burn the Witch, Chihiro in Karuko's Basketball. He plays Saike in The Disastrous Life of Saike K. And he plays Shingo Kageyama in Mob Psycho, who is the main character. He plays Rio in Devilman Crybaby, who's the best evil boy ever, and I love him. And then he plays you know this one, actually. Huh? It's something we just watched.
Huh?
Guess.
I don't know. You know how much media I consume?
We just watched it.
Fooly Cooley?
No.
Oh.
Naruto.
Oh. Does he play the sensei?
Yes. He plays Iruka Imono in Naruto.
Yeah, this last episode we watched, we only get like one line from the sensei, and I was like, whoa.
Don't worry.
Where's my pandering?
We love him until the end of time. Japanese voice actor is Ryota Osaka, and he plays Nota in Tokyo Revengers, who I don't know who that is, but cool. And he also plays he plays Marco Bolt. Bolt. I can never say his name correctly in Attack on Titan. He plays Marco. Marco dies. It's
Bertolt. Marco. Mark. Oh, that's Bertolt. Oh, yeah. Marco, like is in
Bolt.
Marco. Which one's Marco?
He's the one that gets like cut in half behind scenes. John's boyfriend.
Is it cake?
Yeah. Is it cake? I hate you. But he also plays Kenji Akashi in Haiku. And if y'all remember, I've gone over this character before. Check out episode 19 of our podcast to find a secret surprise of what else this character does. And it's all naughty. So instead of doing fun facts, I just did the music in this episode instead, because there's lots of fun facts about music and we love that here. So the opening credits is called Hikaru Nara, and it's by a group called Goose House. They also do the ending too, so it's fun. But the main theme of Your Lie in April, since I love the soundtrack for Your Lie in April, I went ahead and gave you the name for it. It's Kimi wa... Can I say it though? That's the question. It's Kimi wa Wasurio Aiwa. Yeah. And it's a beautiful theme. It plays through the entire thing and we love it. And it's by Masaru Yokimaya. And he has written several soundtracks for like 50 billion animes, including Fruits Baskets. This is probably his most famous one. But he does a lot of like love dramas.
Fruits Basket has a prequel coming out in June.
It does. I've never watched Fruits Baskets.
Michael loves it.
I've had 1,000 people tell me I need to because I do love.
Michael texted me yesterday, dramas. Better start binging. It's like, I don't have time.
Threatening.
That's a lot. It's a lot to binge.
As Bridget said, the movement that our homeboy is playing at the beginning is Piano Sonata number 14, Moonlight Third Movement by Ludwig van Beethoven. It was completed in 1801 and dedicated to Beethoven's pupil, Countess Gucciardi, who studied under him for several years in 1802, which is when it was first performed for the first time.
You said it very Japanese, but it's probably very German.
What can I say? I think it's
you've like switched countries multiple times on us.
I think it's Italian.
Oh, okay.
That's all I can say about that. I'm doing my best, y'all. There's a lot of conflict.
We are jumping
for me today.
Pronunciations and dialects here.
He wrote the sonata in his 30s. There was some controversy about it because at the time he was working on like a lot of commission work. So everyone thought this was a piece written for someone else as someone else, but it was his own. And so he really had to fight for that. And now it's one of his most beloved pieces. So that's cool.
Very popular, especially if you ever get a Baby Lullaby soundtrack. Moonlight Sonata is always on it.
It's excellent. Not this movement, the first one.
Yes.
But this one's much less relaxing than the other one. So,
but it's still super popular. Oh, if you were ever in band, you have heard this.
And it's like a 40-minute sonata, which is great.
Fun. I could not imagine doing that.
And then the song they were playing on top of the Jungle Gym, like I said, is PSO's Fanfare. It's from the Ghibli movie Castle in the Sky. Very cute. We love it. It's the only fun fact I had for that. And the ending song is Shigaitsu Wakimi Uso by Goose House. Oh, I did that one good.
That was good. You just had to roll with it.
You just gotta breathe really
confidently
heavy.
and just all at once flow out.
I'm doing my best. If I say any of these right and y'all call me out on it, you can suck it. That's all I have to
If
say.
you say any of these right, they can call you out.
If I say any
on
of
it.
these wrong,
I was like, what?
I'm tired.
But still call her out if she's right and give her kudos.
Yes, I accept kudos.
There we go.
There you go. Here is your Funimation summary, not Netflix summary. I'm so used to it. For episode 2, Kusei, Tsubaki, and Watari sit to watch Kaori's performance, which ends up unlike anything else they've seen. Kaori just seems to have a way with music completely different from how Kosei was taught. The end.
And this episode is called Friend A, which I still don't know why they do that, but maybe it'll be revealed.
No, they've already said it. Friend A is like the non-important friend to the plot. Like he's like the nameless character that just helps you get along. So
like,
he's not a main character.
So that would be
in
like
his main character story.
Grocery cart number 1, like
Yeah.
lady does. Okay.
Yeah, he's just named
cart,
Friend
that's
A.
what I went.
Because he's not love interest worthy, I guess.
That's so rude.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go. So there's a competition at 3:30, but it's 3:20. Kaori's real chill because she's the 4th one up, and the rest of them are stressing. They made it there just in time. This music hall looks a lot like the UT music building, which was very kind of jarring for me. I was
It really does.
It looks
It
just
really
like
does.
UT's music
It looks
building.
a lot. It looks a lot like Texas State's music building too. I'm not sure.
And like the inside, I like Texas State. I guess I'm so familiar with that it didn't seem. But like UT, I only went like once a year and judged solo and ensemble, but not judged. I worked the rooms. I didn't.
Well, I did my college auditions at Texas State, and it gave me that vibe because it was nice and small.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh no,
it definitely looks like every single auditorium. I was like, they did great. I'm studying it. On studying the auditorium. I know you. I watched you, and now it somehow still made it over Zoom.
My bad.
So I went. Do all music schools have that same exact type of brick in the lobby? Because everything looks like that.
I think they do. They do.
It's the same tan brick. Like I could like smell it and feel it. Like when I saw it, I was like, weird.
Yeah, you could. Sorry.
So Kusei's starting to have a panic attack about being in a music hall, and the recital is now starting to happen. Oh, this is where I said they really did their research on a concert hall and the architecture because it looks just like a real one. Everyone is looking at Kusei and remembering how amazing he was as a pianist and wondering where he's been. Poor kid. Too much attention on him.
I know.
The prelims for the middle school violin competition are beginning. My note, I miss band. I don't miss having to practice all the time to be good though. So the Beethoven Violin Sonata number 9 is being played for the first contestant. That's their set piece. I love that Tsubaki is whining that it's the same song over and over again, but it's the set piece, which is, that was a cheer test basically. So in this contest, everyone gets an accompanist. That's pretty rare. And I was like, every solo and ensemble piece had an accompanist when I was in high school. Like I hated having it because I only got to practice with her like 3 times. And then it was like, it threw me off, but she was a professional and she just like followed along with us. And I was like, she was like, do not pay attention to me. I will follow you. And I was like, but I keep following you.
Yeah, I only ever had choir auditions, so we had to have an accompanist to everything.
Oh, so in solo and ensemble, like for band, like we had a piano accompanist for all of our solos. So I hated it.
Fun.
They were very nice ladies, though.
They are very nice ladies.
But like I said, we only got to practice with them like 3 times, and they're like, "Okay, I know it," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not used to it." So he's noticing the violinist is rushing and he's murmuring that they need to calm down and he'll get this. The head judge voice seems really familiar. I'm sure you'll go over it later. It's Mr.
I cannot wait to
because
tell you.
I made a note just for you because I was like, this seems really familiar, and I stopped myself from looking it up so that you could tell me.
You're gonna be so angry.
I was like, why does this voice sound so familiar?
It is your least favorite person
dang it
we've ever talked about on the podcast.
Dang it. Oh no. I can't think of that right yet. So
I'm gonna say it. You're gonna get pissed. I'm so excited.
great.
Continue.
Kaori is up next. Everyone's kind of taken away by her beauty. They start cheering for her loudly in the audience, and Kusei is like shushing them. Like Tsubaki and Watari are cheering, and he's like, "No, that's not this kind of thing."
Tsubaki and Watari are adorable, and they're great
They
friends.
have
and I
no
love
idea
them.
how to be an audience in a music competition, and it's really funny.
But they're such good friends, and I love them so much. They're just like, yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I would have hated them at my recital.
Oh, I would have loved them.
Not love attention on like I love attention for like theater stuff, but like when it was music, I guess I wasn't confident in myself. I hated solos in jazz band. One time I would hide behind the music stand, and my director gave me the music stand that was like overly greased, so like midway through the solo it just fell, and I was like, no. But so when she goes up and right before she starts playing, she says, Elohim Masaim, most humbly I implore you. And I said, is she praying? Is this Greek?
It's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew?
Mm-hmm. It's a Hebrew prayer, and it's
because I know
means God's
Jesus
power.
says Elohim on the cross, and that was it. That's as far as I got in that translation. I was like, oh
no, that's one of my fun facts. It's a Hebrew prayer. It means God's power I implore.
Oh,
or in God's power I implore.
So she changes her dynamics and tempo differently than the others. She's playing Beethoven's Kreutzer, and they say she owns it the way she's playing, and the judge hates it. The head judge hates it. The accompanist is having a hard time keeping up. And parentheses, obviously I'm still bitter about this because that was not good. I said, although we were told to play like the accompanist wasn't there and they would follow our lead. That's what we were told in our solos. Kusei says, this girl, she's beautiful. And she gets a loud round of applause when she's done. She's won no awards, though, and one judge asked, how on earth is she not famous already? She won't place because she didn't play the score the way it's written. It'd be one thing if it was a recital, but this is a contest. Like, it's like solo and ensemble, so you have to follow the sheet music. Like when it says, you have to follow the dynamics. She plays for the feeling and joy it brings people. Some little girls give Kaori some flowers after the show because of how beautiful her music was. And the judge says the results will be posted soon. But she says she doesn't care about placing, just about playing and how the music enchants people. Watari rushes past Kusei to talk to Kaori. Kusei sees Kaori's hand shaking while she's waiting for him. Like we get a weird close-up on her shaky hand. And for him to say what she thought about her performance. I thought it was because of like maybe she had a crush on him or something, but we'll see later.
She looks up to him.
I don't think that's what the shaky hand was, though. I think the shaky hand,
but she does care about his opinion because of who he is.
Yeah, I mean that obviously, but the shaky hand I thought was because of that, and it's not. She runs off with Watari, and then we see that the audience favorite, which never was a thing with us, makes it to the second round too. So Kaori does get to go on to the second round because she was the audience favorite. Kusei is laying on sheet music and daydreaming about Kaori's performance, and because he got to leave PE early because he got hit in the head with a free throw in basketball. Shocker. And it was his own free throw. Like he's at the free throw line, he just goes, cuckoo, which is great. Sports is not his thing. Watari is checking in on him, asking why he's acting weird. Watari is really good at giving girl advice, and Tsubaki is mad that Watari broke another one of her friend's hearts, and he says, I'll walk her home. So it's just kind of funny. So Kusei is torn between wanting to hear Kaori play again, and if he doesn't want to because of his trauma with his mom and how that's like now tied into music. He sees Kaori on his walk home. Kusei doesn't know what he's feeling, and I wrote in parentheses, it's It's what?
What?
And so he's just awkwardly staring at her and not talking. She says, "Are you trying to sneak another peek at me, pervert?" Which was funny. Kaori wants to surprise Watsuri, so she's just been waiting around on the sidewalk on the walk home. Kusei lies and says he's still in soccer practice, so she doesn't know that he's walking another girl home, kind of to protect her.
He's a kind boy.
I know.
He's a kind boy. We
And
love him.
she says she's gonna go take a look at the soccer team, and Kusei starts panicking and is like, no, they like have a competition and they really need to practice. And she goes, oh, he won't like me if I bug him. So she turns to Kusei and says, you're gonna be my stand-in for Watari, which is like,
Sure.
and so, this is my note. They all call Ryota by his last name, Watari, because in all my notes right now it says Ryota, and I've just been subbing in Watari. And then that is the end of that episode.
The end. So I only have one voice actor, and that is for the judge, Mr. Kazama.
No.
I want to.
It is because I wrote it down.
It is Kazama.
Oh yeah, Kazuma. You're right.
Do you want to take a stab at
No.
who he might be?
No.
He's your favorite Cockney gentleman, Robert E.O. Speedwagon. So if you want me to go
I
further
thought I
into
was
that-
done with him.
If you want to go further into that, go listen to episode 28 of Gateway Anime Podcast. I give you all of his details there.
I'm so mad that he's like this like elegant judge now, and
Love it. His Japanese voice actor is Nobuo Tobita, and he plays... Oh, no one important. I didn't even write anything down. I just said random guys.
what a suspenseful moment there, Lauren.
There you go. I was
No
too
one
excited
important.
about Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
I'm so
I didn't write
mad.
down the rest of his stuff, even though I've already gone through it, because I got to the end and I was like, oh, I've already done this. I have to make a spreadsheet now because we've gotten so many voice actors.
And
But I
sometimes
need-
we watch older shows, so it's the last thing on your bullet points. And you're like, oh, I've done
So
this.
now this week I have to go through and make a spreadsheet of voice actors
You
so I
love
don't go
spreadsheets,
over
though.
them. I do. I'm actually really excited.
It's like you love organizing spreadsheets. You were my
I'm looking
blessing
forward
when
to
we
it.
worked together because you made spreadsheets, and I was like, bless.
I remember that. I was like, this was messy. So I made this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I love it. I still use your.
Oh,
You like gave Michelle like what an event manager does spreadsheet. I still.
I
use it to this
forgot
day.
about
I
that.
Stole it,
Really?
and I still give it to people because I'm like, here you
I'm
go.
glad. I'm glad that it's still of use.
It's still
somewhere
a
in
lot
the
of your
world.
spreadsheets are still in use. When I got my Draft House account back, I was like, oh, pull all these back.
Plus, oh, that makes me so happy. Let me tell you, my
I still
bar
have all your
spreadsheet was
Ghibli
amazing.
show flow notes too, just in case we ever host them again. Because you spend so much time on those, I've
Well,
saved them.
If you ever want more, I loved writing those, so I'll do it for free. Woot! Let's
There's
do
this
it.
one fruit fly that keeps landing on my face.
I thought you were doing like an excited dance for a minute, and then you just kept going, and I was like, "What's happening?"
There's one fruit fly. It got in here
Ah.
yesterday when I was watering my flowers, and it keeps landing on my face, like right
Ugh.
here and right here. And I'm like, "Ah."
Mr. Miyagi, you are not, my dude.
No, I'm not. I need chopsticks to catch that fly.
Well, let's go over the music of this episode. So the first one we have is Violin Sonata number 9, or Kreutzer
Kreutzer.
by Ludwig von Beethoven. It was written in 1803, and it was a sonata for the violin and piano, which was incredibly difficult. It's around 40 minutes long, so they only used the middle and end of it for this episode. And it was named the Kreutzer Sonata after the famous violinist Randolph Kreutzer, who this was dedicated to, but he refused to play it because he hated the piece. And then we have
That was a gross laugh, but that was
It
really
was.
funny too.
I liked it.
I don't know why, but it genuinely tickled me.
Then we had Sonata 47 called Adagor something. Sonata 47. It's a Beethoven thing. There you go. And
There you
it's
go.
part,
Just do sonata numbers.
it's the last part of the sonata that I just said. The
Kreutzer.
Kreutzer Sonata. And that's the very end of it. But it had its own part because it is technically separated. So I wanted to give you both parts just in case you just want that one part.
Okay.
And probably at the end of us covering this, I will make a playlist of all of this music so that
Aw.
we'll link
Spotify.
it for you.
The
so
first
you can
official
have it.
Gateway Anime Spotify
There you
playlist.
go. It'll be cute. And that's it. Those are all of the songs for this episode. Dope. So
Nice.
episode number 3, Inside Spring. Here's your Funimation summary. Sorry. Kelsey and Kaori spend some time together and gets talking about Kelsey's past. Will he ever be able to play the piano again? Question. What happens if he can never overcome his fear? Will color ever return to his life? Question. Oh no. I forgot to get the voice actor for his mom, but I did write down his mom, so you'll get that in a later episode. No voice actors. Sorry.
AKA mom. Yeah, she comes back to traumatize them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Many more episodes.
She does. She does for sure. So you'll have to remind me that I didn't actually write down those voice actors.
Ma'am.
My bad.
I'll make a note.
Thanks.
Wait, was there another one or is it just mom?
No, it's just mom. It's
Okay.
Saki Arima. And I wrote her down. I put English, Japanese, and I didn't write anything else down. I guess I just overlooked it.
It's like me with clicky clacky clamshell things.
I did do 5 pages of notes for this though, so my brain just did not.
That is not okay.
Do it.
We have 20 minutes.
Go.
Here we go.
Go.
Inside Spring. Caramel, apple, nut, waffles sound really gross to me. But it's Kaori and Kusei at this. It's too sticky. Or at this eatery, and he goes from extra to stand-in. Great. Kaori is a big fan of dessert and likes to take pictures of her food. I won't say this comment. She's too foo-foo for me, but
I love her.
She's just not my person right now. She grows on me at the end of this.
Subaki is one of my favorite characters.
I love Subaki.
I love Subaki, but I do like Kaori for what she does for Kosei.
At the end of this episode, she grows on me. And then the whole next episode. Some little kids start playing the piano, and Kaori says, "What a happy little piano, grinning from ear to ear." But Kusei is much more like black and white, monotone, you would say, pointing out that the flowers on it's water damage waiting to happen, and he sees like the world kind of glass half empty. So Kaori is trying to get Kusei to play the piano for the kids, and Kusei finally gives in and helps the little kid play the piano, but a fancy version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Kaori sings along and Kusei starts riffing along on the piano, but then suddenly Kusei gets really a shaky moment, kind of panic attacky, and then stops playing and he says he can't play anymore. And the kid's like, Kusei runs off and goes to feed the kitty across the street, this really adorable little black cat. And then Kusei used to be called the human metronome and played with an orchestra at age 8, which was crazy. That's how good he was at the piano. Kaori asks why he gave it up, and he says he plays the notes, but he can't hear them. Like it's just so his brain just goes into full trauma mode, and he can't hear the sounds of the piano. He says he's fine playing it first, but the more he concentrates, the more it begins to consume him, and the notes are like gone petals caught in the spring wind. They're just suddenly pulled from the tree and gone forever. Kaori tells him that whether he's sad or hurt or deaf, he has to keep playing for people like us, which is referring to her. And so Watsuri's words start making sense. When she's in love, she is beautiful. She's beautiful. She starts like glowing. She's in love with dessert and with music. And when she starts talking about things like that, she starts to like sparkle and glow, which is,
I like that true. She's that for him. Whenever he sees her in love, it's not with Watsuri. It's like she's
not
just
a person.
In love
it's
with
just
life.
Yeah,
and I love that.
But I think that's like such a true thing for like people. Like when people are in their passions, like you can just see them glow, and
yeah,
I think that's such a sweet thing to point out.
And if you didn't notice in the last episode, when Kusei starts watching Kaori play, his eyes sparkle.
Oh,
it's so cute. Oh, sorry.
So, Kaori says that she will make Kusei her new accompanist, and it's destined. Kaori is chasing Kusei and saying he's a quitter and that he must be her accompanist. And it's like a sweet moment, and then all of a sudden they're like sprinting and screaming through the school, and Tsubaki's like, oh, what just happened? Tsubaki says that she'll help Kaori and make him do it. They start playing the classical music over the school intercom, and then Kusei walks into the piano room and sees sheet music posted everywhere. It's in his books, it's in his lockers, it's even in his room at home. It's posted on Tsubaki's window because she's his neighbor, and so he goes to like yell at Tsubaki, and it's all over her window, and he's like, ah! So it's literally surrounding his life. They keep the song playing over and over and over on the school intercom for a whole week, hoping that Kusei will give in.
Those poor children.
I know, they're
Can you
like,
imagine just the same song over and over again? It's like Clockwork Orange.
Tsubaki says that Kusei is like having a kid brother around. So Tsubaki and Kaori are like on a bus talking on the way home, and she said it's like having a kid brother around. She says that if Kusei never plays the piano again, she's okay with it, but she's only okay with it if it's on his own terms. And as of right now, there's something else stopping him. It's not that he wanted to give up the piano, it was that like the piano was taken from him in a traumatic way. So she said like if he wants to give it up, that's fine, but it has to be because he wants to give it up, not because someone took this joy from him, which is like a super mature thing for like an 8th grader to be saying, which I love Tsubaki.
Yeah, Tsubaki she's so good. She gets so much better too. Just
oh
sweet.
Good, I like Tsubaki. So the second round of the competition begins. Kusei is at the school, like not at the competition because he's still not going to do it, and he's like up on the roof eating a sandwich, hiding. And I like the way the art direction for the scene is. Kusei is in the shadows in the very dark, and the whole time Kaori is talking to him, she's in the sunshine and the light. And she draws him literally out of the darkness and in the shadow. And I was like, oh, look at the metaphors. So Kusei's at school, and all of a sudden Kaori is there, and she asks why. He goes, why are you at school? Your competition. And she's like, why do you think I'm at school? And I love that it like cuts to Tsubaki and Watsuri like running around like, oh, like just searching the school. The prelims are happening. Kusei is still refusing to be an accompanist, and he asks it like in his own head, like, what can I say to make her give up on me? Which is like the most depressing thought. Like he just wants her to give up on him. Like he's
so sad.
So Kusei says when he plays, he feels horrible. Like he's at the bottom of a dark sea. There's no light. There's no sound. And they really animate that metaphor, and it's really pretty.
If anyone ever needs to know what anxiety feels like,
oh yeah, it's like you're sinking in the bottom of the sea, nobody can hear you, and you're
literally
the weight of the ocean is crushing you.
Watch episode 4 of Your Lie in April. That is what anxiety feels like.
You're not wrong.
Like,
and then you're also your heartbeat is like going 500 miles an hour, and you can't stop it. And you're like,
and you're just on a stage, and you can't leave, and you're there. That's anxiety
underwater, and it's just the weight of like tons.
It's awful.
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
When are you gonna trigger one? So let's see, where was I? Oh, so in his flashbacks, his like cat is talking to him, his black cat, saying, you know, if you quit, you're not a great loss, and blah blah blah. So basically it's like his self-doubt personified into this cat. So Kaori says he's not alone this time, because he used to perform as a soloist. And she knows he's rusty, but she wants him to play anyway with her. So Kaori finally bows, and she starts crying and says for Kusei, which is like a big, like humbling thing of honor to do that. And says for Kusei to do it for her, to believe in her, like even if he's not going to do it for him, do it for her. And that he doesn't know how close she is to losing heart. And I was like, oh, that hurts. So because of that big grand gesture, Kusei finally agrees. Watsuri and Tsubaki like bust in, and they're like, you need to play, and he's like, I already agreed, which is really funny. I love them. So Watsuri and Tsubaki get bikes, and they rush them over to the venue while Kusei's studying the music on the back of the bike, and they're gonna wing it, which made me laugh because he goes, where did you get these bikes? I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
And then the last quote for the episode, which I loved, I've always lived in this town, but it's never looked like this because he's starting to see the world differently.
Love it.
That's it. That's that episode.
Here's the music from that episode because I forgot to write down.
We'll do mom later. Yeah.
But the first one is the 12 Variations on Abu Darje Moment, which is by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It was composed by Mozart at the age of 25 in 1781 or 82. We don't know exactly which one of those. And it consists of the 12 variations of the French children's song Abu Darje Moment. And it's I'm good with French. It's the only thing. And it showed up at first in 1761, and it's the base for children's songs like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Ba Ba Black Sheep, and the Alphabet Song. So it's just like the base of all of those songs. And then the second song is Piano Sonata 14. Obviously, we already went over that. It's Moonlight. I'm not going to get into it. And then the song that they're playing together, or that they're supposed to be playing together, that they have not practiced yet, is the introduction and Rondo Capriccio at number 28 by Camille Saint-Saëns, and it was composed for violin and orchestra in 1863 and dedicated to virtuoso violinist Pablo de Sarente, and he performed it at the premiere in April 1867, and there's another allude back to April. But the duet for violin and piano was actually made to be a dueling composition instead of an accompanied composition. So it was supposed to be like there were two main
that makes sense for
contenders.
The next episode.
Yeah. Because they have a beautiful piano sonata for it. They have a beautiful violin sonata for it. They can both go together or be torn apart. It's excellent. That's why it's here. And I do have a fun fact. So at the end of this episode, when it was first aired in Japan, they actually flashed a photo of the four kids on their bikes and reminded everyone that it is illegal for two people to ride a bicycle in Japan.
That's
so
funny.
Please don't
do this.
And yeah, that's it. Here is the summary for episode 4, The Journey. Kelsey and Kiori arrived.
The Journey. Mine is Departure.
Oh, mine says The Journey.
On Funimation, it's Departure.
Weird. Don't know why that happens. I pull all of my names off of the wiki page whenever I like do them in my thing, and then I just copy them over.
Huh.
So I don't know why that's a thing. Might have messed it up. Who knows? But Kelsey and Kiori arrived just in time for the competition. However, without a chance to practice the piece, how will Kelsey be able to perform? And how can he survive on stage with the memories of his mother haunting him?
Bam, bam, bam.
These be the questions.
These be the questions. Here we go. We've got 9 minutes. Oy, we're cutting it close. So Kusei has flashbacks of how hard his mom made him practice and abused him. And people start rumors that, like, when he was a kid and he'd walk through, that he has sheet music on his glasses because all he ever did was practice, and that he wears these glasses to cover up his black eyes. So I was like, oh, that's dark. So in his head, when he was a kid, he said, nobody knows what they're talking about. It's me and my mom versus everyone else, which is very abused mindset. And it's really depressing. So they're racing to the venue. Kusei is wearing sneakers, and Watsuri's like, bro, you can't perform in sneakers. So they switch shoes, which I think is just
what a great
friendship. Yeah.
It's so cute.
I've had a friend, shout out to John Brazil. I one time forgot to bring, we were playing competition, and you have the dresses and stuff, and I forgot to bring my nice black shoes. And so John gave me his dress shoes so I could wear his dress shoes, and he just wore his black socks. And no, backwards. I wore his black socks and he wore his dress shoes with no socks. And the director got mad at him for not having socks, but it was fine because nobody knew. I'm trumpet and I was in the back, and nobody knew I didn't have my shoes. I just was wearing.
Oh,
so John Brazil.
Good.
Shout out
Thanks,
to
John.
Brazil.
Good job, John.
I don't know if he listens to this, but
he won't, so that's okay.
He was my buddy in band. So Kusei Kaori go in and Watsuri looks at Tsubaki and goes, now that we've led the horse to water, will he drink? Which I loved that. Like, that's how that episode that scene ends with them standing, watching them go. Kaori says the music lives in Kusei and he just needs to feel it. I said, this kind of thinking is why I was bad at jazz. I could only play what was on the page. I am not a freestyler, which I very like, I need the rules. So Kusei is thinking,
I'm just like, let's go.
Kusei is thinking how Kaori is like freedom itself, but he's thinking it, but then you like can tell that she knows what he's thinking because she turns to him and says, no, I'm not. That freedom is what you'll find out there. And I was like, oh.
I also love the scene right before whenever they're like, he's like looking down and she says, no, look up at me.
Look at me. Yeah.
Like, stop staring down. Love it.
Don't look at the music. Look at me. And I'm
done.
So the judges start recognizing Kusei and saying, oh, the robot and the free spirit. How's this going to work? Kusei is really in his head, but so far he can hear the notes as he's starting to play the piano. Kaori gives Kusei a look and starts riffing, and so Kusei has to think on his feet and keep up with what she's doing. The notes start vanishing from the page, the sheet music all of a sudden, and Kusei starts feeling like he's underwater, which the way they animate like the water coming over the piano and it getting dark like he's at the bottom of the ocean was really cool. So suddenly Kusei starts getting off, and now they're off tempo from each other, and the judges of course notice it pretty quickly. Kusei is panicking, and one of the judges says his performance is drowning Kaori's performance, which he's an accompanist, so he's not supposed to overtake her performance. Kusei stops playing and is just struggling and looking at the piano, and it looks just like when he was a kid, his last time he played, where he just stares at the piano and is looking down. That's really sad. So Kaori suddenly stops playing her piece too, and Kaori whispers, "Don't worry, I know you can do it." And then she looks at Kusei and says, again. And she then trust in me, take another step, which is like something she was like, it was just so sweet. So they begin to play the piece over again, which they technically still can do. Yes, they're going to get points deducted, but you have a certain allotment of time that you can play. So if you don't run out of time, you're still in the running. So Kaori starts playing, but Kusei is still hesitating. Then he remembers Kaori saying the song is in him. Just shut up and look at her and not at the music. And I was like, so Kusei starts up again, but they're still out of sync. Then he realizes that he saw and heard the sheet music for a week straight. They had plastered it everywhere. They played it over the intercom. So he knows it's in him. He just has to draw it out. So he has a flashback of his mom being kind when he first started playing the piano, saying not to hit the keys. Imagine he was the piano. Imagine it was a little kitten. And then she proceeds to really beautifully sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to him. And I was like, oh, this is confusing. So we've only seen like this horrible mom. And then we see like the beginning of his piano journey and how beautiful it was. Mm-hmm. So Kusei says he has to imagine the sound if he can't hear it, and he has to feel it and play it with his whole body, which is important because they talk about in this episode how Beethoven couldn't hear the music, so he had a stick that he would hold in his mouth and put on the piano so he could feel the rhythm. And so he's like, you can do it. You're the best composer in the world, couldn't hear the music either. So they both play and they start to sync up with each other, and then it becomes like what you said, almost like dueling.
I just love that because since he doesn't know the accompanying part, the part that he knows is the solo part. He's a solo pianist, so they just attack it together.
Play two solos together.
And yeah, it's so great. Good.
They work in harmony with each other.
I watched it twice. I like rewound it and was like, yes.
So they both get a standing ovation, and Kusei starts imagining laying under the cherry blossom tree and saying, April, it's almost over. Kusei says he feels the cold, dry air and the scent of dust in the auditorium, which is what he says in the very beginning of the show when they're in the auditorium. Like that's what it feels like on stage. And thinks, my journey, it has just begun. Which I thought was like really pretty. That's how we're going to end. But then I was like, But then all of a sudden you just hear this horrible collapsing noise, and Kiori just is passed out and dropped on the stage. And that's how the episode ends, is like her just passed out on the stage and you don't know what happened. My last note is she's got cancer, calling it now. So that was the end of that episode.
The end. I don't have any fun facts. I don't have any music.
It's
I already told it to you.
depressing.
But yeah, that's the beginning of Your Lie in April. It's a
It
lovely
hooked me
little
by
show.
the first 2 episodes. I was like, oh, it's cute. But
It's
then
a really
like
good show.
third
It's
and
really
fourth,
sad.
I was like,
Prepare yourself.
I'm having a feeling it's going to be like a Walk to Remember kind of feels.
I am always more hurt for Kosei than I am for Kaori. And
Well, Kaori has embraced what her life is and what her destiny is.
Kosei's
Kosei
just the saddest
Is not.
boy.
She's got to help him get to that point of
I
acceptance.
love
It's a
him.
walk to remember, man.
Ugh, I hate
Mandy
A Walk to
Moore, make me
Remember.
cry again.
Hate A Walk to Remember.
I loved it as a kid.
As a kid, sure. Have you watched it recently?
No, I don't want to ruin that for
Okay.
me. So next time we're going to cover episode 5 through 8. Episode 5 is Gray Skies. So we're already starting ominously after that. Episode 6, On the Way Home. Episode 7, The Shadows Whisper. And then episode 8, Let It Rain.
Oof.
Oof. And if you're a Patreon member this Friday, also, you get another Naruto episode. We're going to do 2 show episodes per Patreon episode, right?
Yes.
That's what we said? I was
Yes,
confused
2.
on what our wording was last time.
I know. I was gonna double check that with you too.
Okay, I was
two. Two sounds good.
We
One
let
at a
Will
time
make
is
the
just
decision, and
too
we were just
much.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we do that. We do
I
that.
know. Okay, 2. Okay, I need to watch one more, and then we'll have to record another time because I have a meeting in 1 minute.
Oh my gosh. Well then, let me just say that we love anime.
And we love you. And I would die for Kermit, not just I would die.
She wouldn't just die. Only
I
for Kermit.
wouldn't just die. Only for Kermit, and maybe for Beethoven. We'll see.
Oh,
All
same.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Gateway Anime Podcast with Bridget and Lauren. Please remember to like, subscribe, and download our episodes. Remember, we also have a Patreon, so if you want to suggest shows for us to watch, make sure you go visit us. Special thank you to Marjorie McClendon for our artwork and designs, and Drew Griffith for all of our music. We hope to see you again next week.